Hi, and welcome to Bath's Teams Conversations. This will involve me and a couple of ambassadors discussing various topics around university, such as what is university, looking at applying and choosing a university, as well as talking about what life is like at the University of Bath. This video's topic is what we learnt about Bath after arriving. You can learn a lot about universities before you come to a university, checking online on websites, and also visiting on open days and other events. But there are some things you might not learn about university until you actually get there. So in this video we'll be discussing what we found out about Bath after we arrived. We hope you enjoy this video. I'm Callie Rice and I'm the Student Recruitment Assistant here at the University of Bath. I myself was also a student at Bath for 4 years and I studied biology as my undergraduate. Today I'm joined by 3 ambassadors. Would you like to introduce yourselves?
Hi, I'm Georgie. I'm in my 3rd year. I'm on my year abroad. I study modern languages with European studies.
Hi, I'm Mackyla. I study social sciences here at the University of Bath. This is my 3rd year and it's currently my placement year.
And I'm Sarah. I'm a 2nd year student here studying education with psychology.
Was there something that you learnt quite quickly, maybe when you arrived at Bath or after living at Bath for a few weeks, that you didn't already know about Bath?
One thing that I didn't realise about Bath, so in Freshers Week, it's actually quite embarrassing, so I probably should have known this before I came to university. Basically, I didn't go to any open days or any applicant visit days. I just came to the university on like an off day with my nan. So I didn't really get like the in-depth conversation about what Bath exactly is. I just researched it online. So when I got to university in Freshers Week, I asked everyone like what they were studying, and I was thinking, where are all like the English lit students? Like, where are all the arty students? So I asked them, I was like, why do you wonder like no one's doing English lit in our flat? And they was like, yeah, it's because it's like that's quite a STEM university. Like we don't really do any of those degrees. I was like, oh, like I'd never heard of a university doing that before. I thought university just offered everything, and that's obviously not the case. So maybe it's just good to check before like what courses the university actually does, so you know like what people are actually going to be studying when you go to university.
A little less shocked, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because not every university does every course. Like there's only about not even 40 universities out there that do medicine, for example. So chances are the university you go to will not be offering medicine, so you won't actually find any like medicine students. And like we don't do English literature. We have quite a bit of a gap in like the arty sort of side of things. So anything like English literature, none of the sort of classical sort of arts or anything like history and geography as well, we don't actually do as of yet. So that's quite an interesting one to hear actually.
I was really positively surprised that it was a lot more supportive than I expected. I think I thought, oh, I'm gonna get like a load of essays, and actually they're not like throwing you in at the deep end. They kind of ease you into it, and they understand that you're in a different environment. You're not living at home anymore. That there's a lot of other stuff going on that might be taking your time. Like you're going to events or meeting new people, and so I think that was really, really nice that there's an understanding of what else is going on in your life. And definitely didn't feel like there was obviously that there's work, but it wasn't like a ridiculous amount that I can keep up with and also be doing stuff with my flat and this kind of thing.
I thought it would be a bit like, okay, you're on your own now, but actually it didn't really feel like that. I always felt like there was support there if I needed it, which was really nice just to know that it was there. It's like the academic support centre that can help you with essay writing skills and referencing and stuff like that, or there's student support and well-being. And I just didn't really realise that was going to be the case.
A lot of my work is more independent than from high school, but I think that I was definitely really impressed. I've been so impressed, like how all my lecturers are so happy for me to email them or for me to go and see them if I have a question. Like you can be doing a lot of stuff and reading on your own, but actually if you do have a doubt, they're also happy to help you. And I think that's so nice, like to feel that like it's like a really good relationship with, or like the teaching staff, that they're all really, really happy and like whenever like they're around, they're like just, oh, like come into my office, or like if you want to chat. And I think that's really nice.
Something a bit different, I guess more about university in general, was that I didn't realize how much I would develop as a person. Like very shy before I came to university. Didn't really get up to much outside of just like going to school, maybe seeing my friends. But like I wouldn't be very confident with like maybe going up to a teacher and asking them a question or something. Whereas now that I've been at university, I've literally become a lot more independent, because it was just me and my mum at home, and like whenever I went anywhere, it would just be like she would drive me there, or we'd do something together. And it was quite strange to sort of suddenly I've got this sort of like blank canvas to do whatever I want with. I can go wherever I want. I can join whatever club I want to try out. And I'm not going to do something with somebody all the time. I can just go off and do something on my own. I can try and do something new. And actually just through doing all that kind of thing, and like even like going to lectures and stuff, you don't necessarily have to like find someone to meet before you go to a lecture and make sure that you're like handheld the whole time. You can just go to things when you need to go to things, because as the years went by, I had a lot more optional units. So actually, I wouldn't have necessarily a friend in every unit straight away. So I would just have to go to things on my own. And at first, that was kind of like I feel a bit like lost, but eventually you kind of find your own feeling, and I feel like a lot more independent, a lot more confident, just as a person in general. Like I could happily go up to lecturers and have a chat with them, or just go up to like a stall that's on parade or something and not feel afraid to like talk to somebody who I didn't really know. It's a lot. So I feel like I've come out a lot different as a person from university in general.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Like ever since I've been at university, I feel like definitely a better person, and like my like I can't describe it properly, but like I just feel like I am a better person now, because you mingle with so many different people from all across the country that have like such different backgrounds to you. Like you get to talk to them about like their life basically, and like you wouldn't get the chance to do that if you like didn't go to university and you just stayed maybe in the same city. So like you just learn about other people. For me, that made me like just open my eyes to like a lot of new things. So yeah.
There are also just so many opportunities. I think I knew that there would be like different experiences that would be at university. Just the amount and the variety, like even to do like part-time work, and the fact that the university can help you with that. Yeah, that was really positive for me. And that fact, like the fact that I can work for the uni, I love that. And I think like working on open days and things like that, I think I didn't know that that was a thing as much. Like I think I'd seen people working at open days and I wasn't sure exactly how it worked, but I think just the fact that you can get involved in so many ways, and like whatever suits you, you know, like if you want to like work in the SU and like at the bar, and like there's so many opportunities like outside of your studies as well.
Were there sort of societies and sports clubs that you expected to join when you came to Bath, or maybe did things change a bit when you came to Bath? Maybe there was a society you didn't know existed and actually that sounded really cool, anything like that?
Yeah, I didn't expect to join anything at university because I didn't really have like, well, I had hobbies, but I didn't take them seriously enough to like join a club. But when I got to university, like all the taster sessions looked so exciting. Like in Freshers Week, when they have all of the like the showcase of the sports societies and all things like that, it definitely inspired me to try stuff out. So now I've competed for the Bath Jets cheerleading squad. I'm on the committee for that now, and like at the beginning I never thought I would do anything like that. So I think definitely you do discover a lot of more like clubs and societies and sport. Like I didn't even know cheerleading was a sport, but it definitely is a sport. So yeah, like you just discover a lot more things. Probably, yeah, like you develop as a person kind of, and if you don't have a hobby before, you probably will be able to find it at university.
I didn't join that many societies in my first year because I felt like my time was so taken up, like spending time with my new friends. Like I was always busy, but I wasn't in that many societies, clubs. But I have been involved in the university, so I've been involved in some of that. And we have like a Christian social justice group, and I got involved in that, and I was on committee for that this year. So that's something I never would have thought I would get involved in before university, but I have, and I've loved it. So it's definitely a really good opportunity to try out loads of new things. And I also did some free salsa dancing taster classes, which I never thought I would do. I was like, I'd never thought about doing salsa, and we kind of went as a bit of a joke that went too far, but it was actually so much fun. So yeah.
I always thought, oh, like committees for final years, or that I'm not really good enough to be on like a committee of a society. So I think that was a positive experience for me in second year, to be committee for Nightline. I think in general, just the fact, I think I thought that most societies were sports and kind of drama, but actually like there's a lot of volunteering societies and like other societies like Spanish, that I think I joined Spanish and Italian one, and like there's the Christian Union. Like, there's just so many things going on that I think was definitely a surprise for me. I think going to the fair, I was like really overwhelmed. I think I like put my email address into like all these different places. I was like, I didn't know which one to join. I like wanted to do everything. So
I didn't think I would take part in any sports. And it wasn't until my final year where I finally decided, okay, maybe I should try out sport. And I'm not a very sporty person, so I didn't go for anything intense. So instead, I decided to try out some dancing. So I did Latin and ballroom dancing. And I didn't expect to sort of stick around with it and get so involved with it. But I now know how to do like 10 different dances, and I didn't expect to know how to do the waltz by the end of university. So that was quite a cool thing that I did at Bath. And I think just being involved with that as well, like some of the friends I met and some of the experiences I had as part of that is probably something I would like take away with me for the rest of my life. It's probably like the highlight, I suppose, of my time at university in a way. Are there any experiences you've had that maybe you didn't expect to have at university that you think you'll probably take with you for the rest of your life?
Maybe like some of the skills I learned being on a committee of something. I think having to like organise events and things to publicise the society. I think that's definitely something I'll take with me in terms of just the planning and kind of getting everyone involved. And also, I think it can be really, really hard to like advertising can actually be really difficult. I think I thought that, oh, like everyone would know about this event, but actually that kind of thing, I think that has developed my skills in that kind of area. Yeah, and I think just at university in general, I think, as like Mackyla was saying, like meeting so many people from so many different places, I think that's something I'll take with me too. And like kind of, I know that now that I really want to do maybe a job that I'm meeting a lot of different people all the time. Yeah.
One thing that I would take away for the rest of my life is definitely the friends that I've met. Like I didn't expect really to click with anyone at university. Like when I joined cheerleading, like I definitely have found friends for life, which is really nice. Like, because obviously you'll get to see them, and like every time you meet up with them, it will just remind you of university and the time you spent there. And yeah, again, definitely the skills that you learn as well. Like I definitely never thought that I'd be like chucking people in the air and getting like battered and bruised by it. And that's another thing that I will never forget as well.
For me, the friends and the kind of confidence and independence that it brings as well, like because you're living on your own for the first time, but in quite like a safe and secure environment to try that out. And I think I've learned so much about that, and that will really help me in the future.
Thanks again for listening to another Teams Bath conversation session. Today we talked about the sort of things we learnt about Bath after arriving, so joining a few different clubs and societies that maybe we didn't expect to be part of, becoming more independent and gaining a lot of skills at university as well. So this was our final session of our Teams Bath conversations, and in these sessions we've talked about all sorts of different topics surrounding university, so applying to university, coming to university, some topics about Bath itself and what university actually is. We hope you found these useful, and thanks again for listening.